In some ways, there are Betty's cafes all over rural America and even in some urban neighborhoods as well. As a kid, the Betty's Cafe that I knew in my small Midwestern town was called Mary's Cupboard, even though there was nobody named Mary, just some guy with a mustache. Later, as an adult, when I was living in a small seaside town in New Jersey, just outside New York City, there was Doris's Diner, or more accurately pronounced locally as Doris's, on the first floor of the building where I worked. Doris did greet each customer by name in her whiskey and cigarettes voice, but what made her happiest was if she didn't actually have to get up from the counter stool to serve us. Instead, Doris preferred that her customers poured their own coffee and even made their own breakfast on the grill while she chatted you up as she smoked. "Do you need any help, darling? The bread is in the fridge. I'm out of rye." No, Doris, I'm good. I'm just making a breakfast sandwich with cheese." "Oh, that's fine, darling. Just leave $2 on the counter when you're done." The diner closed when Doris moved to Florida before I could move back to the Midwest, in my case, Iowa, and nobody ever took her place. Betty of Betty's Cafe is just as irreplaceable in her small town.
I have been back here in Cuba for 31 years now, and it has stayed about the same in those 31 years. One year we didn't have a restaurant, and it wasn't pleasant.
But unlike any small-town diner I've ever seen, what truly makes Betty's Cafe special is that Betty herself hosts a potluck every Friday evening where the townsfolk bring meals into her restaurant and they serve each other. Without charge, they eat and they drink a little more.
"I'm going to have a beer and a hot mama at 4 o'clock.
I hope Betty knows what she means to her community.
I think without it, I just think our streets would fold up, I feel like.
In order for a town to hold together, it has to have communal experiences. Sharing food means sharing part of our soul with friends and strangers who won't be strangers for long. And when you're friends with somebody long enough, they become, of course, family. Which means that if a small town is allowed to die, it doesn't just mean empty buildings and streets that are all folded up. It means a giant family has died as well. And so the communion must go on in Betty's cafes all over America.